G'day and welcome to this week's FriBaT. A little bit quieter this week. My boy's gone home again. Oh well, he did help me with a lot of things, so that was really great. Thanks for your help, son. Anyway, back to our normal FriBaT segment. This week we have another beer from Moo Brew. We have sampled a couple of the Moo Brews before. This is their Pale Ale. So let's give it a go. What do they say about Moo Brew? The Pale Ale family tree has grown tall, twisted and often confusing. Ain't that the truth? We keep our Pale Ale pretty close to the roots, drawing on American Centennial and Tasmanian Cascade hops to build a gnarly floral and citrus aroma underpinned with a healthy bitterness. Two different malts stand out with the fruit and flora, creating a complex, well-balanced beer as opposed to a confusing alcoholic fruit salad. And that is true. There's a lot of pale ales that are too fruit salady nowadays. Anyway, happy Friday. Oh yeah, traditional pale ale. That's exactly what it is. This is a 375ml can, IBU of 38 and alcohol volume of 4.9, which makes it 1.5 standard drinks. All right. Bitterness, yes, a little, but not overwhelming. Just right for a pale ale. Just a small amount of citrus. Again, just right for a pale ale. Moo Brews hit the nail on the head with this pale ale. I agree with them. The pale ale, I guess everyone's trying to find a different flavour of pale ale, and so therefore some beer manufacturers are going a little bit too far. They're going a little bit weird, but wow, that's terrific. That is a really nice pale ale. On my Spanish scale, that's a 5 out of 5 for me. Well done, Moo Brew. Alrighty, well, the last couple of weeks, or the last week, has been very busy with fence building, and as such the next few FriBaTs are going to concentrate on fence building type tools because I didn't have any fence building type tools. This week we have a pair of fencing pliers from Irwin. They are the Irwin Vice Grip fencing pliers. Product number is 2078901. These are looking a little well worn because, well, we've used them a fair bit. What are fencing pliers? All right, well, as an electrician, I've had many sets of pliers over the years, but I've never had a set of fencing pliers before. They're made of nickel chromium steel for strength and durability. So what are the features of a set of fencing pliers? They're all pretty much the same sort of design. They incorporate a hammer, a hooked end, which is handy for stretching or straining wire. Then they have these weird little shaped jaws at the front, which is good for gripping wire and again for stretching and also then for turning and creating knots in the wire. They also have two wire cutting notches on the sides, and they also have a set of plier jaws underneath. I'll put up a picture up here of some of the fencing that my son and I did. We've just completed about 80 metres of dog fencing after removing old falling down wire fencing, and that's all for Maverick, who's asleep at my feet at the moment because it's cold and wet here on this Friday. What are they worth? So I bought my Irwin fencing pliers from Amazon, like I buy a lot of my tools, and these were $34.93 delivered, which is pretty good price for Irwin brand. Now I believe Irwin, although an American brand, I think are now made in China. Let me just double check. I'm unable to find out where these are made. They don't have anything stamped on them. I'm assuming since a lot of Irwin's products are now made in China or Taiwan, that they are Asian made and not American made. Probably the one gripe I do have is that at full opening, they are very stiff, and in fact, they may get better with age, but I suppose you don't open them fully. But when you're working one-handed, if they get stiff at any point and you've got to use two hands to then close them again, that's a bit of a problem. They do cut wire very easily and very neatly. Yeah, I think they'll loosen up. One of my pet hates with pliers, and of course it's probably not so much of an issue on fencing pliers, but you've seen me before talking about my quality German Knipex pliers, is looseness in the pivot point, and they do have a little bit of looseness, but they're fencing pliers. They're not precision items, they are for fencing use. There are other brands and versions. Crescent make a very good pair apparently, but these ones were what I found and what I've tried out for my fencing escapades, and I still have probably about another 45 meters of fencing to do yet, so they will get some more work out. All right, let's get on to, let's start with value at $35 odd. They're not bad value. There are cheaper versions, non-Irwin brand, that you can pick up slightly. I did note that Super Cheap Auto has a pair of fencing pliers for $19.99. I can't attest to the quality of those, but that is a fairly big saving, and I guess if you're not in business and you're buying them for a one-off job, then probably a little bit of a saving can be had there. But at $35, they're not particularly dear tools. They are wearing and working very well for what I've used them for. I would imagine they would stand up quite well in a professional fence building environment. And yes, I've got to do more fencing at my son's acreage in the future, so I guess my Irwin pliers will be going with me for that. So for value for money, for $35 odd, I probably rate them at about a 3.5 out of 5 beers. For functionality, they do everything that they're meant to do. When you're cutting heavy duty wire, it is pretty hard on the old wrist, and I do have a little bit of arthritis in the wrist. But the longer handle, I didn't talk about that, the longer handle does help with that, and they're fairly long at 26 centimeters. So therefore they've got pretty good pivot point, very high, long handles, so they do cut hard wire pretty well. So for functionality, I guess they're not bad. They're not 5 out of 5. Let's go 4.5 out of 5 beers for functionality. I do notice that there is a little bit of wear happening on the jaws. I'm not sure whether you can see that on the cutting jaws there. A little bit hard to see, but there is a little bit of wear, and they've probably done, I don't know, 20 cuts. So that's probably a little bit of a worry, but they are a scissor type cutter, so therefore I guess they will keep cutting for quite a while. Yeah, so that's my verdict on the Irwin Vice Grip fencing pliers. I will put a link down below for you to purchase them on Amazon. They are available in the Australian big box tools stores, etc., which are around about the same price, probably a little bit dearer. Amazon's pretty good value. Alrighty, well, a nice quick one this morning for this FriBaT. I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hit that like button down there. That means a huge difference to the channel. And leave a comment. I love getting comments. I love getting suggestions for different tool reviews, etc. So please do that. Anyway, that's it for this week. So we'll see you next week. Cheers.